So I was thinking that this village here is the perfect size to make a sort of transformation outpost. I'm going to try to transform each building and make it look a little bit more aesthetic. I think I'll start with this building here. Little 1-bedroom, little stall almost. First off, I'll work out the shape. So I think this is about 5 by 9. That's a nice size for a smaller house, I think. Just the wood planks might work. I've decided the roof is going to be made out of spruce. I've decided here that this roof looks pretty rubbish, so I'm going to move it over further. Yeah, I think that extension made it look much nicer. In terms of doors for the village, I think I want to keep it consistent. And it's either going to be jungle or spruce. I feel like spruce is used a lot, so I want to spice it up a little bit. I reckon jungle. So yeah, we're going to go with that. I'm going to use stripped logs here. It's sort of a shading, although that looks lighter. Something a little bit darker. I think jungle should work. It's got to be spruce. Nah, that doesn't work. Maybe I need to lift the roof up a little higher. The day that I got weld at it was the smartest decision of my life. Yeah, I like it taller. Gives you more space to work with. Speaking of, what sort of windows are we feeling? I think it might have to be spruce. Just that sort of thing. Little like trapdoor. And I'm thinking I might not use glass for this place. A little bit predated on the glass, so that sort of thing. Where have you come from? Just come wandering up this cave anyway. Yeah, I think this is good. This store definitely needs an upgrade. I like that more, but I think that I'm not a fan of this balcony out the front. So maybe it just needs a little like campfire. Little step up. Actually quite like that. Okay, well there's house 1 somewhat completed. I think I'm definitely going to come back and add more details to it, but I'll sort of do that all in one fell swoop when it comes to everything. So I think this house is going to be pretty similar to it. So let's get this one started. I think this one's going to be a little bit different. And obviously I'm using this white terracotta. You know what, I think that I'm going to decide that the cobblestone is going to get swapped out for stone bricks, because I think it's a lot nicer block and easier to blend. Yeah, I think I like that much more. And I'm also, instead of this white terracotta, I'm using sandstone. Maybe. We'll see how I go. I think that sandstone is a block that you can show shadow on it. I think the best way is with birch, or otherwise the regular sandstone. I might just do that. Yeah, you can't be mad at that. It could even... No, not quite. Alright. Now that I got that sorted, let's get a door. I think that works for the door. I'm not mad at it. Looking at this makes me think that this is really full on, and it's got way too much like wood texture. So I think I might build all the buildings out of this sandstone just because it looks really nice. So let's see how that looks on this building. This might give the opportunity to replace this and put it back as spruce. Yeah, I think that's a big improvement. Alright, now let's make a little window here. Could be nice. Just one of those. Even, yeah, I don't mind that. We'll go 2 windows here. This one I might just do a little staircase like that. Well, I like both of these houses now. Make sure I get a bed inside here so I'm not making the villagers are upset. I think that this tree should be like almost symbolic. So I think that I might make a custom tree, make it like quite large. I think that would be really cool. And I think now I'll build a little farmhouse here. So I'm just fixing up the terrain around here for the farm that I'm going to build. Hopefully no villagers fell down these holes because they're not going to last long. I think that should be enough space. Farms take way too long to make. Like even in creative mode, there's no good way to do it. I tried using world edit to like copy paste it and move it around, but it's not easy to do. Unless it's a super flat world, I guess. I'm pretty happy with the size and shape that I've got now. I think I need to put a fence around it though. I'm not sure what sort of fence I want to use here to follow the theme. I reckon it probably could be just stone walls with a little bit of variation, but yeah, I'm not really sure. Okay, so now that the wall's up, I should probably decide on some sort of entrances. I think that before I decide on an entrance, I'm gonna work out what this farmhouse is gonna look like. And I'm pretty sure that I want to do hay bale roof. So let's get rid of this piece of junk. The villages were, I think, originally built to be sort of something that anybody can replicate, anybody playing the game. Doesn't matter like how skilled you are at building, you can put them together. But then they updated them in the Village and Pillage update, I believe. They kind of made them, like this building here is actually not an ugly building. It's just very boxy. It's got like interesting details and just like it's aesthetically pleasing. And even that one isn't too bad. It's more so the houses, they're just boxes, like that one, that are a bit boring, and the one that I'm destroying here. I think in the update they kind of took away from that because they've got these fancy houses, more aesthetically pleasing houses. Okay, I've got sort of a plot of land here, somewhat cleared. Okay, that's a bit of a rough shape of the building. Right now, not looking like the prettiest thing in the world. How's that look for the roof? I think that's pretty good. Let me get rid of this weather. Alright, the roof looks a little bit odd. I think I need to raise it up. Yeah, I don't mind that. Might even use this bamboo. I think it blends alright. Just like that. Maybe even on top as well. That seems pretty good to me. But it does feel like I'm looking at the back of a building. Is that a good idea? Yeah, why not? A little bit of diversity in there. Let me also break up this color. Yeah, very good. Much, much better. We're just gonna have to ignore that there. Alright, let's get a door here. I'm feeling like having a little veranda out the front. I feel like that works. And then for the railing, there's just not enough blocks for that sort of railing. Because I feel like the trapdoor's too big. Maybe I'll use that door. Maybe I use oak trapdoors. That's what I have my windows as. Could work with a sign on it too. Maybe a spruce sign. Okay, that can work. Problem is the edge here isn't going to have a sign on it, I think. Which that'll be fine. Just like that. I'm actually very happy with that. That's turned out very well. The door. Let's see. Some of that action. A nice window here. Maybe a banner in front of it like it's a blinds. I don't mind that. Yeah, I'm going to rock with that. Maybe I'll come back to the interiors in another video. I think that could be a cool idea. I actually really like that house. Feels almost like a little chicken coop. I'm making sure I fix up terrain and spots like this. Okay, next on our checklist is the library. This right now is a pretty cool looking building, but we're gonna make it look even better. Let's get it the hell out of here. And there goes that. Should put a composter or two over here, maybe like against the wall here, maybe a bed. Okay, the library I feel like needs to be a little bit more grand, and it's gonna probably go in this sort of inside these path blocks here. I think we gotta definitely stick with the same block palette. Excuse my dog barking. Okay, here is the base structure. What I'm gonna do is that around all the sides. Excuse me, Mr. Golem. Just like that. Okay, this is looking a little bit strange right now. For some reason giving me very Greek vibes. There might need to be bigger gaps. Yeah, I think that we need to run up bigger gaps. Now that I've just done the entire thing. How about I just start off with building one side so that I'm not constantly changing all sides. That's a smarter way to do this. So I'll start with the front. The idea is to make these big archways. This poor iron golem is stuck in here now. Let him out. Oh, there you go. I like the look of that, but I might even do that across there, or maybe this. Yeah, I like that. And then this was a 2-story building, so let's go up a level 2. Is that potentially a little bit too crazy? Maybe I'll take the sides in a little bit and have it be just this sort of single arch and have the roof go up here. Like if I have the roof sit there. Actually, I reckon the library deserves a more grand roof. So maybe it has a stone roof. I think having it curved down at the top might be the right idea. That is a very large building. You know what might look good though? If this was every face. We're going to experiment here. Okay, experimentation starts with this block right here, that point. Now what we're going to do is stand right in the middle here, / copy, / rotate 90 degrees, and that should make it go that way. So we're going to now check this spot and go and pray. Okay, that's actually worked really well. / rotate another 90 degrees. And we can go here. Same thing again, we just need to fix up the one spot. Another 90 degrees. And we get this spot. I should probably decide before I've filled all of this in whether I'm making the roof out of stone bricks or not. So, how does that look? That looks pretty damn good. Can't be mad at it. Now I might just try to see how it looks with this instead. Hey, it's always worth experimenting, but I don't know if this was a successful experiment or not. I think I like this better. Full stone compared to that. It's a tough decision. Maybe it needs to be dark oak. That's just even more time that I'm wasting. Let me amend that statement. I don't think I'm wasting any time here. It's always worth seeing if it'll work. Test the experiment. Okay, maybe that's the best. Forgot to fix this spot. Oh well, I can fix that later. I think this is the best. See, this is why it's worth experimenting. Alright, that, I believe, is looking wonderful. Now let's actually make sure that it has an entrance, which I think needs to be pretty grand in itself. So, I'm thinking, and a site. And to make the stairs, maybe just tough. I don't think the tough fits because it's not a part of the palette. So maybe I just go with spruce. Yeah, I like that much more. And a big old grand door. Very dark in here. I'm gonna make this fully just like that. I actually think that looks really cool. So we're gonna rock with that for now. Doesn't that look like a, what do you call it? Stained glass of in churches? Although maybe it should be on that level, not here. Yeah, I'm gonna change it actually. Obviously, it's not actually glass and you can't actually see through it, so it's not very practical, but I think it looks good. I said before that they might be a little bit before glass, but I think that's going out the window with this build because I've just made glass in it. I usually like light grey. Yeah, light grey might be the way to go. Just a little bit of variance in the texture. I'm even going to extend this glass on every side. Okay, I think that is another building finished. Okay, I think that next up is this building here, which I don't actually remember what it was. Alright, we got a fletching table. Okay, so sort of like a archery. What actually does a fletcher do? All I know about it is the bows and stuff. Let's get a fella in here. Flynn. Yeah, that just seems like bows. Can I upgrade you? Still bows. Yeah, it looks like it's just bows, I guess. Yep, all just bows and arrows and stuff. Now that I've just traded a bunch of stuff with him. Thanks for that. In fact, let's name this fella. You look like a Russell. There we go. We're gonna have to delete your house, buddy. Give your fletching table out here. So this is sort of a archery. I don't even know what you'd call this thing. I'm gonna quickly clean up the land around here before I get to building. There we go, now that that's looking a little bit cleaner, I'm going to use this plot here so I get something going. I'm not really sure what I'm going for here, but I'm not sure what an archery building is supposed to look like, so I'm just sort of throwing down blocks and hoping something comes to me. I think this one's going to have a dark oak roof as well. Another useful command I've learned is you go like that, so you select your points, and you go, how many blocks long is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So then I go // stack 9. And then the direction I'm looking, it'll stack. So that is very helpful. I'm going to use the fences here, similar to like the first house I did. Is there no center point to this? That is a center point, isn't it? I hope so. And then this here needs some texture, so we're gonna go deep slate and tough. Just like that. Pretty happy with that. Oh, I've realized that when I stacked it, I've made that go all the way through too. So there you go, I've shown you what not to do as well. Alright, I think I'm good with how that is now. I'm not good with how this is. I think we need some scaffolding sort of going across here. Maybe a bigger one as well. Actually, maybe that one's a big one and then make these small ones. Yeah, I actually quite like that. Real sense of like a strong support. And I might make the back wall sort of filled in. Yeah, like that. And then the inside we can fix up later, but I'll just chuck a fletching table in there for him. Good old Russell. And then yeah, the interior we can fix up later. So for now, I think that's how we're gonna sit. Actually, nah, let's do the interior now. Coarse dirt, granite, mud. Here's a good question. What do I do about this sort of patch of grass? Because I don't want that to run through the bottom. I think I could live with that and then sort of in points make it come out. And I'll get some targets, fence posts, put a trapdoor on top, just like that. And that'll be our targets. Maybe I'll put sort of the actual archery field out here. Maybe hay bales on some of these targets instead of actual target blocks. A few barrels for storage, just that. Are these people at the point of lanterns, or am I going to have to use torches everywhere? I think it makes it easier to use lanterns. Oh, I can just put one there. So I'm gonna go with lanterns. Make like a little workbench, some anvils, maybe a crafting bench just there, maybe some hay bales, maybe podzol will fit in here a little bit. So yeah, there we go, that looks a little bit better. And even here, I like this. This would be a nothing without having some bows and arrows. Composters filled with, you know, like just filled. Kind of looks like arrows, maybe, I don't know. There isn't really a block in the game that gives off the arrow look. So that's what I'm gonna have to stick with for now. And I'll put an arrow on here like it's being worked on. Maybe that'll do. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good little settlement. Maybe it needs a couple windows. There you go, with the iron bars, that looks good. They fit right in there. I like it. Alright, let's get some terraforming done. I need a little bit more space for this house. Actually, I don't think this is a house. I think this is where the armorer will hang out. Yeah, blast furnace. Is this your blast furnace? So, I said terraforming, but this is really just filling in grass. Terrain fixed. So let's get this armory in. Armory. We need a blast furnace. I'm thinking a sort of oval shaped building. I'm thinking that's our shape. Then we'll go up a layer. Here's where we get a little bit fancy with it. See what we can do about this. Actually, again, I'll just build the front side. I fear this build is going to be a lot of trial and error. Yeah, this definitely isn't doing it for me. This has got to go. Actually, I think maybe same shape, but I'm going to try a different idea. I'll go up like this, and I'll actually get stone instead of stone bricks. I think like this, and then I'm going to round off the roof instead of trying to have the whole thing be rounded. I think that was a funky idea before. So we'll give this a go at having a bit of maybe a darker roof. We'll go try tough bricks. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more rounded, so I'm going to put in a few stairs, just like that. You know what, I think how it is pretty good. And now I don't have to replicate this roof because, well, oops, I did that slightly wrong. Okay, here we go, that is looking much better. Now I will get a chimney in place. I don't know what block I want the roof to be made out of, and I don't know what block. Maybe I'm going to do mud chimney. Maybe 2 mud chimneys, like right here. What door makes the most sense for this place? I think it has to be a spruce door, right? Probably just again spruce trapdoors. Yeah, I like that. Time to texture a little bit. Alright, I'm pretty happy with the texturing, but what I'm going to do to make it one step further is grab stone, cobble deep slate, tough, and just sprinkle that in a little bit. Not too much, but just in a few spots. And then same thing with the tough and deep slate. Alright, I'm liking the look of it, except for the roof. I feel like the roof is missing something. I don't know what to make the roof out of unless I make it out of black stone, but black stone is a dark block. See how it looks on one side. Honestly, I think black stone might be the way to go. I'll replace it a little bit more and see how it looks. Yeah, black stone's the way to go. We'll do this. Yeah, I rock with this. And then we'll put the furnace on the inside. I think I might make it so that the grass and stuff is all dead around it. I certainly use a lot of coarse dirt, so maybe I need Hey, you don't get an opportunity to use rooted dirt a whole lot, especially I play mostly in survival, so I think it's a cool idea. You can only get it from azalea trees, so yeah, I like that. It makes it a little bit lighter too. Alright, so there's our armorer. I think paths are a thing that will come soon as well. Alright, next on our list, probably take this house on. What is this? A toolsmith. Not a smith's. Maybe I need to go with this one, like a normal home. We'll see. Before I get started on that house there, I just wanted to do something that would differ these two buildings a little bit, because right now they feel very similar. So what I'm going to do is just add a little box extension to the back here. Take that wall out. I don't think this roof needs to be anything too fancy. Just go like that. Problem is then, actually that'll be fine, because if I just put these in here now. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'll actually get started on this one now. So this house is going to follow the sort of theme of this one, so I'm going to steal some blocks. Alright, that's our base. Now let's see what I want to add to it. Grab our trusty axe, just put it back a little bit, and then maybe this one has a little front porch nook. Always like the look of that. This roof might just be a little bit simple. Might just make it like the classic with maybe the trapdoor on the end. We'll see how that looks when I've done it across the whole thing. I reckon that this one should have a fireplace, so I might go steal the bricks and granite from over here and just put one on the side here. Don't know exactly what I'm going for here, but it just feels too thin being one, but then I want this down here to be like a oven, so maybe this needs to just be too wide. This feels huge, but I think I'm gonna rock with it for now and just get this roof chucked in. Not a huge fan of how this looks right now, so maybe it needs to come out further and maybe a little bit more in the middle. I think a porch out the front here would be quite cool. Just do that there and that there. I don't mind how that looks. Maybe place that one there. Maybe I'll do the same fence design as I did on the other side. Get up some signs. That is not how you spell sign. Don't know what to do with this spot. Maybe just the sign. Yeah, that should be fine. And I'll make the entryway right here. I think that's pretty solid. The door, being used in jungle. Maybe this is one where I use walls. That could work. Or should I move that back? Yeah, I think that I don't like this design, so I'm just gonna trim it back. Maybe just put this in the wall here. Same old trapdoor thing. Maybe this will work. Just a little fence gate in there. Yeah, I don't mind that. I need a window here for sure though. Alright, I like this. This veranda out the front needs to be a little bit smaller. So let's get the trusty axe out. Yeah, that's good. I like it. Honestly, don't mind how this looks with all these trapdoors down. Maybe I'll replace them all. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to replace all the... Maybe I can... World edit's just the best, isn't it? I'll just leave them all there like that. I like that. This fireplace can be a little bit taller maybe. I need to fix this side of the house up. Use the fence gates. Maybe a few trapdoors to go underneath here. You know what? Maybe this house can have a couple of windows there and there. How should I do this? Give it oak trapdoors. Just gonna need a few spruce blocks. I don't mind that at all. Another one here. I might try to see how this looks the other way. Definitely inside. Now it is off center, so maybe I'll move this one over. This one inwards. Yeah, I like that. Actually, why am I doing that on the back of the house? I should put that on the front. Give us me X. Can't be bothered doing that with the X. Too much thinking required. That's the thing about world edit. Sometimes I'm not too quick with it, so sometimes it's not worth using it. Just because it would take me longer to use it than it would to just get on with it. Do it myself manually. So that's one of the windows. And how far? 2 from the edge. Damn it. I'm gonna move that one over. Yeah, I think it looks better further apart. Maybe the door needs to actually be centered. Yeah, that's looking better, but I'm not going to be able to have this window here. Maybe this is one where the door is a little bit more... I don't know. Alright, let's tame the door a little bit and get rid of that. And just do it like that. Yep, I like that more. Alright, sandstone. I don't know what I just said. Sandstone. And let's bring a little life in this. When I learned how to add a little bit of variance in texture by adding some shadow, I think that is when I really started to take off with my building a little bit. I wouldn't say that I'm the greatest builder. I definitely give that to like BOO, even like Jeracraft or Low Res Bones. There's a few people that I think are quite good, but I'm definitely on like path of learning. I'm definitely gonna terraform that because that looks awful. I'm gonna have to fix up the terrain all around here. I might like actually terraform this. Down to our second last building, we've got the toolsmith. Then we'll go on to the church next. I think I'll try to keep the same sort of theme where it's the L-shaped building. Honestly, I think I'm gonna make the ground a little bit higher. Well, that sort of worked. Alright, wonderful terrain, kind of fixed up a little bit. No longer that big old dip, so let's get some blocks down. I think that's a pretty fair shape. Should this be like these two buildings where we've got the stone and stuff? I actually wanted to update this one a little bit and put a little bit of variance in it. Only problem is that there, for some reason, isn't any stone walls, so there's no way to add some variance to the actual wall part. At least we can do these spots. So I'm going to build it the same as I did over there, just mostly stone bricks. When I build nowadays, I try not to do this sort of back-to-back staircase because it makes a very thick roof and I feel like it's overdone. Like that's like the standard Minecraft roof, how you expect it to be made. And I like to have my roofs be a little bit different, follow a similar design to this one. But yeah, I think I'm not going to do that just because I feel like it. And I might even just leave it like this. Alright, now that I'm happy with how that looks, I'll get some actual details in. So we'll start with a window here. Actually make it a bigger window. Maybe I'll change this one up a little bit, make it like a barred window. Yeah, I think I rock with that. What was this building again? A toolsmith. Definitely needs a chimney. I'll use the mud like I did before. I don't mind how that looks. Add some stairs to ease the transition a little bit. Maybe it needs to be the same height. Alright, I rock with that. So is that our toolsmith finished now? Maybe this one needs a skylight like this one has. Maybe this one has 2 doubles. How does this look? Yeah, I think that's cool. I'm gonna keep it like that. Now we move on to, I guess, the church. Hey, so not my brightest moments, but I forgot to save the audio file for all this footage. But basically, I'm working on the church, obviously, so I moved it back a little bit, and I decided that I was going to go for a more wooden style because I feel like church is generally an older building. So I figured it would have like the earlier resources, which is obviously wood, and there's a little bit of stone thrown in. I experimented a little bit with using sandstone, but I don't think that was very successful. But I tried to keep it as similar to the Minecraft like vanilla church as possible, and I tried to follow sort of that as a guide, which is why you get the shape that you do. All in all, I don't think it's the greatest church, I don't think it's amazing, but I think that I'm pretty happy with it nonetheless. I did extend the back a little bit because I thought it was a little bit small and it looked a little bit funky, but enjoy the footage. Alright, now I'm working on a barn for the little farmhouse out here, because there was a little pig pen, so I decided that I was going to extend on that. And I just made a little shelter in here for the pigs to hang out in. I'm not the biggest fan of this thing, but I think maybe I'll fix it up later on. Yeah, I just made like a little fence around the outside, keep the pigs in there. I've got two adult pigs and the baby pig, although I did move this later on with well-bedded, and I think that the pigs escaped, so I might need to spawn a couple more in there. This is some food for them out here, and I tried to make it a little bit muddy, and there was a little bit of water on the inside. And then I made a big old mud patch here, and I thought it was really cool experimenting with the deep slate tiles. I think they blend in really nice to make the puddle look actually like a puddle. There's water there. And I used gravel to show like the building's been there for a long time. It's like etched in, and then a little entrance, obviously. Alright, here I'm just cleaning up the village, making it actually fit in a little bit nicer. A lot of the buildings have already been moved, but I just used World Edit to move them around a little bit. Move them to where I want them to be. So that way I could put a big central area where I could build that grand tree in the middle. I moved this archery, what do we call it? The Fletcher building. And I've just rotated it around and made it sort of fit the village better. But yeah, you can just see that I moved everything around a bit. Here is the grand tree, sort of, that the village is worshipping. It's been like, I like to think there's a little bit of lore behind the builds, and there's like the tree that's been there for a long time and it's old and got some like ancient lore around it. And I used a little bit of moss in the tree and grass on top to give the effect of like a little bit of bushiness, because you can't really get that with just the leaves in it, because obviously the bushiness is a half block, if you can even call it that. I'm still figuring out stuff like replay mod, and I thought that I captured putting in all these paths, but obviously I didn't, because that footage is nowhere. There's a mixture of coarse dirt, rooted dirt, brown mushroom, and packed mud. It was fitting for the theme. So now I think it's just time for little details, and I think that this is probably the most important part of this build. So it's probably, I'm going to put a lot of effort into this and make sure that I get it right. This is just adding stuff like bushes and grass, and it's just stuff like this terrain. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is looking good. Let's get straight into it. So I think everything is done now, all details put in. I got different villagers at their different jobs. Very happy with how this turned out. Even put a little librarian with a lectern sort of out front of the library. Yeah, I'm super happy with how this has turned out. Let me know if you enjoyed it, and if you want to see me do interiors to each of the buildings or a different sort of theme. Like I could try something from scratch or try transforming a different vanilla rebuilt structure. But yeah, super happy with this. I'll add a little cinematic tour. Or maybe that's going on right now while I'm talking. First video of 2025. Happy New Year. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.